Good morning, welcome to the action on day 3 of the Ultimate Pool Series, Pro Event 8. Tom Cousins, for the second time in 3 days, starts his campaign by taking on one of the Fleming brothers. This time it's Ryan Fleming. Thursday afternoon lost out in his first round to Mark Fleming. He then went on to reach the final. His brother will be very much hoping he can achieve the same. Mark Shepherd and Tony Holgate with you for this match. I'm looking forward to this, Tony. This is a good storyline that's developing here. Not only the fact that he's playing Ryan Fleming, but if he wins this match, there's a chance of playing Mark Fleming again.
Yeah, the draws worked out in a very mysterious way. And also the other possibility is the Fleming brothers might be playing each other. So we'll have to keep an eye on the score on the other table as we go along. But yeah, Tom Cousins, I'm sure, doesn't want to lose another one to a Fleming. If you played a third Fleming, would they get to keep him and put his head on their mantelpiece?
Yeah, not what he's looking for. I mean, he's not going to care. That's a thing for us, the narrative of who he's playing, but more importantly for Tom, he just wants to get out there and play some pool. It's annoying losing on a Thursday afternoon because you're frozen away from the event all of Friday because the Challenger and Women's Series events are starting. Even though we've got 30 plus tables in operation around the venue, hard to get a practice in because there's so many other events. It's quite a focused start from Ryan Fleming. He's wasting no time getting after the yellows, but the hard work's to come in this finish.
They're very similar in styles to the two Flemings. They do like to get on with the game, and they're very attacking players. Obviously very talented. I don't think he wanted that contact there on that second, well, on the red there. Just a spin. It's taking it a little bit further than he'd have liked. He'll have to have been straight on that into the centre just to creep it past the red, and just would have been easy position onto the last yellow, but now there's a lot more to think about.
It's quite an all or nothing style there, so he knows and we know that if he does miss, Tom Cousins will be there waiting. The reds are nicely positioned. I mean, whatever he goes for here is a tough shot. He can take the long ball or drop the yellow into the left centre. It's going to be hard to hold for the second yellow. He's never really going to leave himself a good shot.
I think he's just gone a bit far there. He would have had a double had the cue ball not rolled past that red. Now I think he finds himself snookered, Ryan Fleming.
This is awkward as well. It's not in a place where he's very likely to make the ball.
Decent effort, but it will be top cat to come to the table as Ryan Fleming takes his seat.
It's very hard playing someone like Tom Cousins to know how to approach the game, because if you don't go for positive chances like that, when you get them you may not get a better one, but if you chase difficult finishes and don't get it, it's going to be a difficult morning's work. This is exactly what Tom wants. This is kind of a warm-up position just to get him going in the first frame. Ended up becoming very much the talking point of the last day and a half, his exit, just because Mark Fleming went on that run to the final.
Not only that, Mark beat him by a big scoreline as well, really. Was it 7-3, I believe? So it's not like he just stumbled over the line. He's comfortably won. But then when we saw how well Mark was playing, and I was lucky enough to be on his semi-final against Cole Bedford, and he was absolutely flying. Never missed a thing.
That was the impressive thing with Mark. It was the fact he pressed on. Not just the one good result, but carried it on going. Do you think that must have provided some inspiration for Ryan? We saw him in the crowd a few times watching his brother as he carried on with that run.
And now it's his turn.
Tough challenge though, because I don't think Tom is going to take this match lightly. He hasn't come all the way up to Blackpool to lose 2 first round matches. Been pretty pinpoint in this first frame, although it didn't really matter too much. There was plenty of space to work with.
good break there from Ryan Fleming, making a ball. First ball a bit hampered, playing this yellow into the centre.
Any ball that's an easy pocket is the lowest of the yellows on the table. A fair amount of room around it. Option of either going right corner or taking the one to the centre and going up the table. Just a bit straighter than he wanted on the ball at the top of the table. May just about be able to avoid the reds if he screws back in a straight line. May be able to force an angle direct. Did have to use the cushion, but that's fine. So just coming around to look, I don't think the ball, the lowest of the yellows, pops bottom right directly, so he's going to have to play position on it to the other side.
Can he just scrape this off the red? Nudge the red out of the way of that yellow. I think it's very tricky because it's going to have to be very, very thin. I don't know if he can. No, he tried to play and push the cue ball through, and he's very low percentage for getting that through there with that thick contact. It's just always going to sort of stop dead nearly.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that angle, he was playing to try and glance off the red and move over, but that never really looked to be on.
No.
He's got himself in a mess here. Because
well, he has, because there's no double. He's actually trying to find a shot for him to play. I don't think there is one. Well, the clock was running out. He just played a nothing shot, really. Well, there just wasn't anything to do. Tom now got plenty of time. He'll probably, I would suggest, clip off that red that's near the middle bag on the cushion and try and send his cue ball into the other two reds and push them over the pocket if he has that angle.
Yeah, he certainly wants to move that ball. If he doesn't have the angle to play that shot, he can just play straight into the red and leave the white where the red is.
Well, effectively, he could just play sort of a double, play the red over and block the black off as well. There's that option. Either or for Tom Cousins. And he's gone for the plant along there. Where's the cue ball going? Well, that was an unnecessarily dangerous shot.
That was a very unnecessary shot, given that he got Ryan in all sorts of trouble.
And I'm not being funny, it's a pretty straightforward in-off as well, isn't it? Coming off. Maybe he didn't think the cue ball would have the pace to get there, I don't know.
I think he got a slightly thicker contact. I think he thought the white was going probably 6 inches or a foot above the left-hand centre, but either way, he's got himself into something he really didn't need to there.
Especially when the yellow was dead for Ryan, but certainly not with ball in hand. It's not dead.
No, I mean anything other than ball in hand, Ryan's not clearing up from that position.
Oh, where's it? It's gone in the middle. Oh my word! Wow.
Well, that's crazy. Let's have another look at this. Dead straight pot, rattles it in the jaws, and somehow finds the middle pocket.
This looks dry as well. And just look where he's left the cue ball. And the yellows are, I'm not going to say dangling, but they're very inviting.
Well, it's an easier clearance than the last one. We can certainly agree on that.
Yeah, well, there's no way he can fall over and snooker himself on these yellows. I mean, there's a case for reds as well. If that red on the right-hand side rail goes off that yellow into that corner, I think the reds are probably easier. It all depends if Tom fancies that shot, because there is an awkward yellow that's near the left-hand centre. And also, if you take the reds, the black's a lot easier. So it's one of them. And Tom is going to go for yellows.
Good chance to go ahead for the first time in this match. Coming up to the halfway point of the match clock. Also coming up to the halfway point of frames played. Well, that's not gone quite as intended.
No. No, this is a bit sticky now. Well, he's left himself an angle. We can cut the yellow down into the corner and just slide out of the yellow that's near the middle bag, just off the rail there, and knock it over the pocket. If he gets this, then he's up. The last two yellows are linked. I'm going to say the black will probably go into the top left-hand corner.
Big shot this. A little bit thinner than you'd ideally want. It's a good angle, but you've got to take care of the pot still.
Well, it's a great pot. He has moved the yellow, but in an ideal world, he'd like that yellow to just be sat right over the bag, but now it's just gone past the centre of the middle pocket, so he still has work.
Take that outcome versus the yellow going safe, but he's going to play one more shot.
Yeah, just wants to come back now and then leave an angle on that one that's over the middle, because his large yellow has to be the one next to the black. That's a good shot. So he just wants to get this cue ball onto the bolt line or just slightly past it, so he can just roll that yellow into the centre, push the cue ball forwards, and then have the black in that corner. And that's about A1.
Even though the score's 3-all, Tom's looked pretty good for the most part.
Well,
that one really careless mistake, the in-off early on.
Yeah, but I mean, Ryan's playing very well. I mean, it's a super match.
Yeah, both players can be happy with the game they've turned up with.
Considering it's the first game in the morning as well.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's not super early, it's always a factor with poor players, isn't it? Somehow it's
just your first match of the day. Is it,
you'll hand the table over. I don't think you can afford to hit this hard. Oh, wow. It's been pretty sporting playing it at that pace.
And it's dry.
It's come up dry, but these are not in a position where Fleming's going to clear these up in enough time.
And he's resigned himself to the fact there's no chance. Very good sports. And he is quite a character, Ryan Fleming. Nice fella. Wow, what a pot. Can he pot the 6 balls in 10 seconds?
It's going to be too little too late, but what a match he's played here. It's just been very entertaining stuff from Ryan Fleming. Almost nicked an unlikely victory to join the one that his brother took over the same opponent. Ultimately though, Tom Cousins, the long-time Ultimate Pool Pro rank #1, does get the job done. He'll be mighty relieved, because there were some moments in that match when that did not look a foregone conclusion. Back in action this morning. Ian Alley, his opponent for this last 64 match. Not an easy draw by any means. Ian Alley's been in good form lately. We've seen quite a lot of him in Ultimate Pool events. Mark Shepherd and Nick Finn with you for this one. Such an entertaining run that Wad had on the way to the final and then to that title yesterday, Nick. And kind of a bonus, he gets to come back today and have a second crack at it.
Yeah, for sure. It's he was just brilliant yesterday. Whether he can recreate that form today, I don't see any reason why not. Ian Alley, a very tough opponent first up, and you gotta feel for Ian, really. I mean, he's there's easier draws to have than the guy who is on good form and at the peak of confidence, but Ian doesn't fear anybody.
No, and he plays the game in the right way. Very entertaining. We saw him in the Payers Cup playing with John Joe Sharkey a couple of weeks back. Felt like not only did they play the best, but they sort of played the game in the right way. They seemed to be enjoying their evening, where everybody else looked like they were finding it a bit of a grind at times. A sort of positive approach to things.
Touch unfortunate there. He's just tried to develop the tricky yellow. He's had another go, but these tight pockets catching him out. Ian fell at the first hurdle in event 7, losing to Neil Raybone 7 frames to 6, so he'll be really keen to get started in this one. The last thing he wants is to turn up for the weekend and just play 2 matches.
Yeah, 2 matches, well spaced out as well, Thursday and Saturday. No action yesterday for the pros that lost in the first round of the first event. Different people obviously have different approaches to that. Some just embrace the fact that they're away for the weekend. Getting the end of summer in Blackpool, it's a pleasant weekend to be here. First and foremost though, obviously everyone here for the action on the table.
And the round of 64 well underway now. Mark Fleming and Hitan Patel at 5 each. Amy Beauchamp 1-0 against Chris Day. Neil Raybone 3-2 against Ryan Pisani. And Tom Jones 4-2 up against Jimmy Croxton. John Rowe and John McAllister 2 each. The games are underway at the moment. Kirsty Coalfield has already won this morning. Whenever you see Kirsty Coalfield, his games never take long, and he was playing Rob Warren this morning, and Rob another very, very fast player, and that game's already over. Kirsty Coalfield winning 7 frames to 4. Kirsty, one of those players who is turning into a real danger in this field. Every time you see him, he just seems to have had another quick win on the board, and you feel it's inevitable that sooner or later he's gonna put a run together and be knocking on the door of a trophy.
Yeah, there was a time when he was the kind of player that you felt could beat anybody on his day, but maybe didn't do it that often. And it seems like those results have been coming more and more often in the last few months.
Yeah, he just seems to be finding more and more consistency.
Had a very entertaining run at the last man standing. Where, even though he didn't win it, he played quite an important part in the narrative of Josh Kane winning it, because it was Kirsty being at the table at the end that meant that the eventual winner, Josh Kane, wasn't called out until late on, and that helped him into the final, which he went on to win.
And that one's just going to flick the yellow on the way past. Unwanted kiss, and he's out of position again. I think he probably will try to lay a snooker here. Just needs to hide behind the yellow that he's closest to. And it's a 1 cushion escape, but that's pretty much all he had.
A self-created problem that Craig's got himself into here, just slipped out of position. It is quite hard coming back to the beginning of a tournament when you've just been at the business end of another one. Probably easier if you've won it. I think often you see people who lose in the final of a tournament and then have to go and restart from round 1. That's psychologically a very difficult thing to do.
It's a nice shot, just getting the red further up the table, out into the open, and he lays the gauntlet down for Ian. I mean, Ian does have a shot. He's got the one just below the bulk line with an angle to go over and develop the difficult yellow. If he gets this and he gets it right, it could be a frame-winning chance. I think Ward just rolled the dice on that one. One of those times where he couldn't do much else apart from leave Ian very challenging finish.
First shot was a difficult one, which Ian was not 100% to get, and the position definitely wasn't guaranteed. He is a very good potter though. He's not really a guy that you want to leave half chances, because he does get them more often than not. So a frame that could have gone either way.
Has proved to be his undoing in this frame.
It's always a reminder of how quickly things can turn, because you can look at the table in those situations and think we're going to be here for hours, but suddenly you can get into a position where, particularly with ball in hand, one shot can open everything up. Long 8 ball, but not one that you expect to cause him a problem. Oh, but it has. That's a very uncharacteristic miss from Craig Waddingham.
That really is. I mean, he is such a great potter. But again, it's another ball. Do you know, I think half of it, Mark, is the fact that players are conscious that these pockets are tight. And once that gets into your head a little bit, then you end up missing balls that... The thing is, he played that at such a pace that it wouldn't have mattered what table you were playing that on. He rattled it, and it was never going to take it at that pace. And I don't think that would have gone in on a match either. But I mean, it does play on the players' minds. You have to hit the middle of the pocket, and he just seemed to have just snatched that one slightly. That's not a good shot. I'm not even sure why he's tried to come back, to be honest. I don't know why he's not just stopped, played short position and played it back across the rail, because if he leaves it straight, all he needs to do is drop it in. He's got the yellow to middle, and this is horrible now. I mean, what do you do here? He's going to have to take this this yellow long and screw back for the other one on the top cushion, and suddenly this is way harder than it needed to be. No.
Well, the only consolation is that he's left a considerably more difficult 8 ball than the one that Craig missed at the last visit.
Yeah, but the little nudge has just made it just slightly straighter. It was a few inches to the left-hand side, which made this harder to judge. A little bit straighter, and you fancy Craig Waddingham to get this now. Yeah.
Funny old game, isn't it? I mean, he misses a really routine ball, and then that way more difficult one just slots in like it's over the pocket. That one, I think because it was more difficult, it maybe gave it even fuller concentration, tight to a cushion. Still not an easy shot, but more realistic to play the full range of shots now. Well, that's a better break. Oh, well, it was until that point.
Wow.
It's not a better break now.
How significant is that going to be? Because that was a monster break, and it took 2 kicks. There's the first one. There's the second one. Ian missed the last plant he took on. He's going to try and plant and develop at the same time, and he gets it. Leaving himself a little bit of work to do, so he should be fine. He can screw up for the one into the bulk area now. So one cushion and up. Yeah, that looks perfect. So just needs to stun this one out on the line that the cue ball is now for the last red to bottom right. He's decided to come 2 cushions with running side through the gap. It lands perfectly. That was a more natural way of playing it, so I understand why he went that way. Punishment from Ian Ali.
Much more comfortable position this now for Craig as he breaks off. Just needs one of the remaining 3 frames to book his place in the last 32. Job not done though. 7 minutes still on the match clock.
Well, the reds looked good until the last one moving came to rest behind the 8 ball, so that's going to be the deciding factor to go for yellows, and that's not what he wanted at all. He's tied up another one of the yellows. I'm surprised he played it that way. Thought he would have taken the plant, which would have left the yellow in the position it was, and now he's just pushed a red. on for Ian. He can get this red in behind the 8 ball. Maybe he won't attack from here. Maybe, no, I think he's probably forced to, isn't he, actually? I was going to say maybe he could just get it across there and try and leave it near the pocket so he can develop the other red in a minute, but he just doesn't have the time. There's only 7 minutes left and he needs 2 frames. So he can't hang about, he has to go on the attack. He needed a fuller contact on the red to open it up. Still tied up. Lots of work to do here. I wonder, is he going to look to play the red up the cushion off the 8 ball? I think so. Red off the 8, push the 8 into the yellow and the red. You feel he can't fail to develop a red. I'd be playing it now though. Not sure that was the right way to do it. Surely red off the 8 ball, because you can't fail to develop the other red. And you've got, and if it goes wrong, you've got the red that he's just played in the middle of the table to as a backup ball. I'm surprised he went that way.
It ended up being sort of good news, bad news for him. That red fortuitously ended up over the bottom right pocket, which was helpful, but obviously always going to get snookered in response.
I know it's easy to say from the comms box, and you know, who's to say it was the wrong decision? I don't know. Hindsight's 2020, but
yeah, good chance for Ward to play a loss of turn.
Loss of turn.
yeah, trouble is Ian's chasing now.
Come off the left-hand rail and try and make this ball in the right centre, but what's he going to leave even if he pots it? Not the worst leave in the circumstances, but you're going to get chased around the table when you've only got 2 balls like this.
Yeah. Ward's just going to stand in behind the yellow that's closest to the cue ball and let Ian have another punt at it. Now, yellows don't look too bad, and just 3 minutes 42 left on the clock. At worst, Ward, yeah, he's not chasing this at all. Doesn't need to. He's happy to burn the minutes off the clock. 3:30 left on the clock now. I mean, he's happy for this to go on another couple of minutes. Time slipping away from Ian Ali. He needs to make something happen. And now surely Waddingham pulls the trigger. Still not forced to, but I think he will.
And even if he can just stay at the table for a while and pot a few balls, time is definitely starting to become a factor for Ian.
Yeah, it's not going to be the weekend that Ian Ali wanted. He's going to lose in both events at the first time of asking. Waddingham applying the finishing details.
He's played some decent stuff here, Wad, but it wasn't a guaranteed win. Ian Ali's had a few chances. Been moments when it looked like he could get it back onto level terms.
Yeah, there were times in the middle of this match that it could have gone either way. It stayed tight all the way through, just until a couple of small errors near the end. And Ian has just come unstuck at the wrong time. And Craig Waddingham, who will take the win.
Good performance out from Waddingham. Keeps the dream alive of the double. For Ian Ali, tough day at the office. 2 first-round losses.
But yeah, he's
first disappointing trip to America for Chris Melling in Ultimate Pool terms. In terms of, he won the first 2 Ultimate Pool USA events and the Open events, Louisiana and Kansas City. Lost at the 32 stage this time round and didn't go particularly deep in the shootout either. So disappointing for Chris, but that is the nature of the game. As we see Shaun Sharkey get us underway here. Race to 7, last 64, 50 minutes. And no doubt second favourite here is Shaun, but he's equipped himself very well in the pro ranks. And we always talk about how fine the margins are, and in any one-off game, it's not that easy for the favourites to enforce themselves and make them that sort of superiority stand out. You know, Chris Melling is one of the favourites for the tournament, but he's a marginal favourite for this match, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
None at all.
I'm glad it's clear.
No, I do understand what you're saying. You know, it's but then you look at some of the odds of the players, and you know, yesterday or the start of the first event, and obviously they installed Tom Cousins as the favourite, and he was something like 9-2 to start with. Then he went out, and then all of a sudden Melling was the favourite. Then he went out. Jordan Shepherd went out, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the odds of all the players, and they've all come in together at any one of about 5 or 6 of them around 8 and 9 to 1. But once again, Cousins installed as favourite, but only 5 to 1 this time, so not as hot as the first day. And it did seem that early this morning, well, not that early, 11 o'clock, but he progressed. He sort of got half revenge on the Fleming brothers.
Well, yeah, we were talking all about the storylines that we might have with the fact that we've got Tom Cousins against Ryan Fleming. Obviously, Tom lost to Mark Fleming, and they were in the same little section, which meant that he could end up playing Mark again. It could be Ryan versus Mark. In the end, all the storylines are gone. It's Sitin Patel versus Tom Cousins, and it's as you were, if you like.
Yeah, it's Mark started off really well against Sitin Patel. We were looking at the scores, myself and Mark Shepherd, as it went along, and suddenly he hit a bump in the road somewhere, Mark Fleming, and Sitin Patel came back and took full advantage. Anyway, Shaun Sharkey's got to pull out a decent shot here. Cutting the red into the middle, he's going to nudge that black. Well, he's gone in the corner.
They must go.
Well, do you know what? Straight away I thought he was going to move that black. And
yeah, I thought he'd put it right into trouble, but it goes through the gap.
Great shot.
How about that? And Shaun Sharkey doing what he absolutely needs to do here, getting the opening frame against Chris Melling.
Yeah, classy finish from Sharkey.
To be fair,
he actually climbed over myself and Nick Finn to get to you over in the commentary box.
I mean, first of all, I don't know why he's asking me. The tournament directors are here, but yeah, he came up to ask me what time he was playing in his quarterfinal after he'd won his last 64 match. That's confidence for you.
Yeah, good old Carl.
Yeah, this time Shaun actually gets the break all wrong. He doesn't hit the ball he was meant to hit, and this is the layout because of it. Or was that a safety effort? Just trying to put the red on the 8 ball? Or was that a missed pot by a distance?
It's certainly not a safety, is it? I'm a bit confused by that shot.
Yeah. But safety as in making the table messy. You know, not he was always going to leave pots on, but
I don't think it was a pot, because as he hit, he sort of just walked around the table towards his chair. So, as in it looked like his body language. He wasn't expecting to pot the ball, but it certainly wouldn't be wanting to leave these balls this open for Chris Melling.
Yeah, because actually there's only one ball to work out on Reds. And that might not even need it. Well, he is going to go into it now. So the two Reds together, the right hand one of the two needs moving. The other one goes, and he's on it now, and he's guaranteed to move the other one. Oh, doesn't open it up though. I did wonder whether he needed to. I think it was really tight to try and play that precise to be able to not move it, and might have gone in. I don't think it would have gone into the corner. It might have gone in the right centre, but I think you're probably clutching to find that. So I think moving it probably was the right thing, but it just hasn't come out for him.
I think we could see the double here with The red into the left-hand centre. Made it.
This is going to be a tough one. Having missed 2 pots in the last frame, this is tougher than both of them. And he's missed another.
Pulled it.
Awkward queuing on that one, but 3 missed pots in a frame and a half here for Chris Melling. We've said this a few times throughout the weekend. Chris Melling was leading the charge for the tighter tables, so he's got them, but he's not enjoying them right now. In truth, the one he's just missed, though, wouldn't have gone in on any table. The previous 2 might have done, though. Well, he can obviously pot the red, but how does he get onto the 8 ball?
Yeah, well, he's looking, because if obviously a lot of players look and think, right, I'll just slow roll this in there. But I think if you slow roll it, then you're going to go behind that yellow. So this is why he wants to try and play it, make sure he doesn't snook himself. Great pot.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That really is. I mean, I know this is a tough 8 ball, but this is what he was playing for. It's exactly the cannon he was looking for.
Well, just when you thought he'd made a catastrophic error and gifted another frame to Sharkey, he's pulled out a very, very good red here. And just the control with the cue ball to land on this yellow. And like you said, Simon, he played exactly to be there. Yellow. Yellow at the death there.
He'd had already made a red.
Yeah.
He had a red go in pretty early, bottom left corner, and now he's got a wide open layout. Time to knuckle down and just put a finish together.
Yellows has to beat. Yellow goes along the top rail into the corner off the red. This is as simple as you'll get.
Yeah, normally we would be talking about for Chris Melling, how do we see an issue? How does he go wrong here? Because it's normally for Chris Melling, this is as routine as it gets, but this hasn't been that match, and there is pressure on this one.
It would be a positional shot. That's where we get. If he's going to fall over, I don't think it will be a miss now. I think the balls are well away from the cushion.
Well, it is a positional shot. I mean, he's got that one. I mean, he's nowhere near. He's playing on the yellow to top left.
Well, is he looking at a double? Oh,
the recovery is there.
If you're Shaun Sharkey, you've got to be sick there watching him do that after that bad positional shot.
And this 8 ball for a place in the last 32. It's not how he normally does it, but Chris Melling has found a way. Shaun Sharkey just missed too many opportunities in the match, and Chris Melling eventually and somehow gets over the line, and he books his place into the last 32 here on Pro Series 8.
He played really well yesterday. Nice opening break, but what a mess he's left. I mean, he's timed it really well. Cue ball tracks straight back up the middle of the table. Pots, but look at the state of this. That big cluster on the right hand side is going to cause both players a problem. 2 balls tied up on the left as well. So Dave electing to play defence. And we'll see a few tappy shots just in behind these balls at the top of the table until someone sees an opening. Now Dave's going to leave that one hanging over the middle. And he's left an angle as well that Stevie could go up the top of the table and try and dislodge one of the reds that's tied up. I think the one to the left in the bulk does pass the top left, so I think he can go around it. And he selected to play the double. really just all about that ball on the right hand side.
There's sort of Stevie showing you that he wants to play it off the yellow. Take the red that's down here nearest the black. Just screw the keyboard up the table a little bit towards that middle bag. Wants it to slow down a bit. Oh. You can't believe that's just gone on and on and on, that cue ball.
Yeah, just kept
when he
travelling.
hit it, I thought, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So then it was still going, and then, wow. So you can, I think it's been a bit unlucky there, definitely. You've seen if it goes through the gap now into that corner, try and kick back off this railing. Push the red towards that corner bag. Trouble with this, if he does hit this correctly, that cue ball could slide into the corner. That's a good attempt. And at least it's opened the frame up. I thought for a minute, and so I'm sure you did as well, Nick, that this frame, I thought, well, this could be a 15-minute jobby.
Yeah. He's left Dave this long yellow full length of the table. He's close to the work as well, but it looks like it's fairly dead straight. And the two yellows that are locked together, I'm pretty sure they're a plant into that top right. Looks like it's a dead set plant. And he gave it a nudge on the way past.
What's that yellow going to do? No. So, chance number 2 for Stevie Dempsey.
Yeah, he can take the one to middle. He's also, I think he's on the one to top left as well, but middle it will be. Run the cue ball around, needs that to move, and that's no good. Don't know if you can see the line for the plant, but that's horrible, being this close. I think it's all he's got. This would be some shot if he pulls it off. Ooh,
he's got it.
Does. Any luck?
Yes, there might be a little bit there, Nick, to be fair.
How's your luck today, Stevie?
Oh, wow.
Right. To be fair, it was a great plan.
It was a great plan, but
he deserved a bit of fortune there, I think. But
good shot there. That wasn't easy at all. It's black for a 1-0 lead. In some sort of style as well, or fashion. In it goes, and it's the man from Ireland. He puts his hand up to Dave Fernandez there in form of an apology.
Yeah, I mean that'll make Dave feel better.
This is the black. Stevie negotiated that, no problem. You can see the hand up.
A chance.
And it's such a good break as well that from Stevie there. Great explosion with the pack.
Yep.
Everything charging around the table.
First decent chance for Dave Fernandez.
Yeah, he will be thinking it's about time.
Yeah. I mean, you'd want to be Reds here, but he's not really got a great opener on Reds. He's got a 3-ball plant to the middle, which he could take on, but he's forcing to go in for yellows because he doesn't have a decent opener. And the only
He's
reason
not
I
come
say
far
Reds-
enough either. You want to come further up so he could play that yellow at the top of the table. Does the yellow snip cut into the middle past the red?
That's really tight, but yeah.
What else is there? If
Not
it does
much.
go, at least one thing, if he did play that and get it, you've opened up the frame for yourself.
Yeah.
Could maybe play this yellow up off the red.
Oh, that's a nice shot. It's the red that's the yellow that's to the right of the cue ball now. The one that's just above. That's the problem. It doesn't go top left. Doesn't go into the top right. Doesn't go into middle.
Yeah, you can get onto that.
Can land short position off the yellow from the top. Yeah.
See, I'm not sure about that one. He wanted to go a lot further because
he's looking now
to change his route.
He's looking now. I mean, he could land on the one to middle, but he's looking at kicking it out. Might just have a bit too much angle to land it, which is...
Well, he's never actually in this frame been in A1 position anywhere through this.
No. But what he was looking at doing there was kicking the red out of the way, so the yellow then went to top right, but he's still not got it. Now he's tried to land in behind it.
Gone a bit too far.
Yes. It still goes to left middle, but what do you do with a cue ball? Cue ball you need really where it is now to get the yellow that's above the 8. Needs to pull something out of the bag here. Got the pot. Well, maybe it does sneak in.
Well, I said that at the start of the finish. The snip yellow goes in there.
Yeah. You can see there's a little gap there. He's going to have to play it towards the knuckle and just judge the pace well. There you go.
And the first time he's been in position is on the black. Great finish there from Dave Fernandez.
Yeah, makes a heck of a difference. Well, he's potted 3 reds, and he's on a red. He's got the option of reds or yellows, and you could make a case for either, but I think it has to be reds just because of where the 8 ball is. Trouble is, it's quite a thin cutback, and that's why Stevie's given this a bit of attention. It's a thin cutback and harder to control the cue ball, so yellows it will be. So if he's taking yellows, he just needs to... Wow.
Not taking yellows.
He's not. I was going to say, if he's taking yellows, he just needs to think about his plan for the 8 ball.
Scruffy shot there from Dempsey.
Yeah, didn't expect him to miss that one. He's on the one up the cushion to top right. You wonder if he can get better on it. He's not taking it, so he's going to have to find a... I mean, he could leave it until second last and leave an angle to come out for the yellow, but then you're struggling to get on the 8 ball, so it really is... There's a lot of thought. I'm interested to see how he plays this. He could go up for that one on the rail now. I think he has to. Screw past the red. He's come too far. It's going to have to be a double. I don't think he was ever playing the double. I think he's just overhit that one, Tony.
Yep, absolutely right. Doesn't have to play a double. He could play the one into the middle and bring the cue ball back up, but then...
Yeah.
Need to go through the gap
Just
of those
makes me
2
wonder
reds,
why he didn't
leave an
play
angle.
Why didn't he play it when he was on it, you know? Just... It looked like he was about as good as he could be on it. And now...
I don't think he's come far. Well, he hasn't.
He's digging a hole.
Big one.
Did wonder if that would be his undoing. not taking that yellow, because it wasn't the easiest ball to get on, as it's proven. He's had two more attempts at getting on it, and he's not. Sometimes you just got to take.
Oh, what a shot! What a shot!
Well, that is fantastic.
Swerve around the red and play the cut. Has he come far enough?
If you can recover like that, then wow, brilliant. Still got to get on this 8 though. It's going to have to be a fiddly little shot into middle.
Yeah. You can almost make a case of playing a double, but I think the cut just to drop it in.
Got to get this dead right.
It's close.
Fine knuckle, but it's in. Putting Declan Brennan to the sword. Aaron Davis 5-0 up against Clayton Castaldi. Just remind you that is my tip for the event. 5-0 up. Tony's gone to sleep over there. Luke Sanchez 3-2 against Liam White.
Just listening, you're reading the scores out.
Yeah, Stevie Dempsey, as we know, 4-3 up. Bit of a shot brewing there with Andy Williams.
Yeah.
And Brennan.
Yeah, Decky, I mean, he left it a bit late, didn't he, yesterday when he tried to make a comeback out here on the TV station. But he's playing brilliantly.
Yeah.
Just goes to show how it can all change from one day to the next.
Yep.
Just under quarter of an hour left now of this match. If we do see it go to the bitter end of the full 50 minutes. One frame separating these two battle-hardened pool professionals. Yep, and that's the general sense of things you get from Stevie Dempsey's reaction. We've had a few of them.
Yeah, well, this game is just starting to get tight, isn't it? That's a clever shot.
Well,
3-ball.
that should cheer him up a little bit, that shot.
Yeah. Work that out well. And actually opened up everything.
Yeah, he has. And this is just what the doctor ordered for Stevie Dempsey. As you approach the last 10 minutes of a match, if you can get 2 or 3 ahead, it just means you can control the game when it does go down to the 15-second shot clock. Middle of the bag for that one.
I've got to say, he was just hampered here.
It's just been a bit like it, isn't it? I don't think either of these players have been in A1 positions throughout a finish, pretty much, have they? They've had to work for every ball.
This is very missable.
Oh. Great shot there from Dempsey.
These players just play those shots so well. So easy.
It's worked out well because he can just play this plain ball cut into the corner, because that cue ball will just go between the two yellows off the rail and bump out for the black in the bottom left. Well, he's pulled the cue up a bit.
Yeah, just looking at the gap between the two yellows. Oh, that needs to slow down. Oh, he's on it.
I think he must be okay.
He is on it.
Did a bit of different face being pulled there if he was stuck to that yellow.
Another 2 mil of travel, and I think the cue ball is sat on the yellow, and he can't get through to this 8. I say.
Well,
you've got to say he just rode his luck a fraction there, because if you think back, even when he ran out of position, he had those 3 balls in the middle of the table. I mean, he played the cannon, but he was very lucky to even land on that kind of like plant cannon. You know, it had to be there. And do you know what?
Yellow.
Oh. I thought this was going to be dry.
Right, I'm going to immediately look at the balls here. I think reds. Yes, there's a red tuck behind the yellow near the middle, but I think he can play another red off that ball.
Yeah, screw back now.
Yep, and then play it off the yellow. This is a shot. Red off the yellow into the centre, free the other red.
Just making sure that the middle red of those three at the top pass the top right, and it does. So you can just play this off the yellow and screw back.
And quite rightly playing his extension now, because this is the most important shots thus far in this frame in the match for Stevie Dempsey's sake. Well, there we are. All in the open, but he's got a tough shot into the corner. Long screw shot. See his arm shaking a little bit there. It's a nervy one. Played it brilliantly though. Bit of adrenaline there in the old arms.
For sure.
He'll feel quite happy that he's not that well in, because this is unmissable and it's all about position onto the last red. Even using that as another little clever thing there, just to
Brilliant.
play it off there and bring it away from the rail a little bit more.
Absolutely fantastic.
Clever little moments there from Stevie Dempsey.
Most players just pop the ball and then leave themselves the thinner angle, but just bringing that out a couple of inches just makes it so much easier to play your next position or shot. It's fabulous. I mean, it's just natural ball for these players.
Two
See
balls
these things
away.
so easily.
Screw back. This black ball for the match for Stevie Dempsey.
He's taking his time over it.
He did take an enormous amount of time, but down it goes, and Stevie Dempsey, he defeats Dave Fernandez by 7 frames to 5 and will advance through to the next round.
Jordan Shepherd will be looking for some revenge, trying to book their place in tomorrow's last 16. We've got plenty of other action going on as well. Lots to happen tonight, lots for us to enjoy. We're going to focus on the last 32 over the course of the next 2 to 3 hours. Keep you updated with all the scores going on around the arena as well, because there are many last 32 matches going on. Plenty of challenger matches going on around the room as well. And then tonight we will have the ladies' semi-finals and final from the Women's Pro Series 7. They're currently playing their quarter-final matches. We'll keep you updated with the scores, let you know who will be in tonight's semi-finals as we get underway here in the last 32 with Jordan Shepherd, who had the opening break, and he has the opening chance, and it's a good one. Simon Webb and Mark Shepherd with you.
Good evening, everyone, for what should be a very entertaining match. As you say, these two have played each other in some big tournaments, none bigger than that World Championship semi-final. Ronan McCarthy, 2 times a world champion. Jordan Shepherd, somebody that's been hotly tipped to win a lot of major titles over the years. Shepherd that's had more success in recent seasons in Ultimate Pool professional events and sits quite a few places higher up the rankings. But it's McCarthy that's had the better weekend so far. This is match number 6 for him. Reached the quarterfinals of Pro Series 7. Back in action in Pro Series 8. Jordan Shepherd, disappointing early exit on Thursday afternoon, so he had a undesired day off yesterday before he gets back into it this afternoon.
Yeah, interesting you referenced the World Championships. Jordan Shepherd has obviously never won one, but strangely, and it probably sums up the pool world, he hasn't really played in that many, considering how long he's been around the game. Won many professional titles in various forms, including here with Ultimate Pool. But never won a world title. Really put a lot into trying to win one this year and came up short in the semi-finals, and it was Ronan McMahon that stopped him. Just slightly overscrewed that one, so now he has to use the red. No real problem. Simple 8 ball then to get going. Race to 7 here. And very nicely done indeed for Jordan Shepherd.
3-0 down already. Oh, that's a bad kiss.
He went in off on his first break as well, didn't he? So that's 2 breaks, 2 in offs.
This was quite an unfortunate one as well. Cue ball was drifting over that side of the table. It wasn't otherwise heading towards the pocket until it got knocked in. And a position where ball in hand was powerful for Jordan because he was able to get in and amongst the cluster of balls at the top of the table. For some players it's been hard switching between the US and UK versions of the game. For Jordan it doesn't seem to have been that hard, and looks like he's coming in with confidence. Doesn't really matter what it is, but winning anything is good for your confidence. Trying to land flat on the top cushion so he had an angle to get through to the red to the top left and then could have run out for the other ball. Or failing that, it would have been better to be low on the ball top right and then could have got back there. He ended up kind of between those shots.
I wonder whether he played on and off the cushion and almost tried to get the line of the yellow. And then he could overhit it and still be on the red. You know, right, flat on the top cushion would have done the job just as nicely. Whichever way he played it, he's in a bit of trouble here. Doesn't throw his arm at one though. Could have easily tried to carry on, go top right and come down. Getting back up on that ball was almost impossible.
He knows that Ronan's not an opponent you want to take liberties with either. You get stitched up in knots if you take any liberties and don't get the finish. Once again, coming to the table without any really straightforward chance to go after. He's trying to buy himself a bit of time. Done the important thing, which was to cover that pocket. Stops one pocket that the red that's below the 8 ball could have gone into.
Yeah, but he left it fairly routine here for Jordan. I suppose it's not absolute certainty, and I suppose he's worked out the calculations, but this is a good chance for Jordan. He's a little bit short here. A little bit short. I think he had to hold for red to centre pocket. So that means he needed to come another, 3-4 turns down the table. Might have to play into the red now. Ended up playing into the yellow, and it does drop for him eventually, but can he get to the potting angle now? Well, the fact he's looking at it, yes.
Just flick a bit of side on, but he could get that. Well, it wasn't probably the position Ronan wanted to leave, but maybe just concluded there wasn't anything better, and wasn't by any means 100% chance that got left. What he hasn't really had is just a simple roll-in type finish. Oh, where's this cue ball going? Tracking towards the corner.
At least he's not gone in off for the first time in the match. That would have been a disaster to do it 3 straight breaks. It looked like it was going to be as well.
Yeah, and again, just kind of cannoned in from a otherwise safe position. This is a decent opportunity. Finally, he's coming to the table with the balls open and without any obvious complications. And what a difference a day makes. If this had been during his latter rounds yesterday, you'd have said that these balls were going with certainty. Today, it hasn't really been too much to draw confidence from. This tournament will play down to a conclusion tomorrow. bringing you one more last 32 match tonight. And action from the last 16 onwards commencing tomorrow morning. Our penultimate Pro Series weekend of the year. I'll be making one more trip up the M6 to Blackpool in November for the closing event of the season.
You saying that through gritted teeth, Mark?
Spent a lot of time on the M6 lately.
Too long.
Joking aside, I've actually enjoyed the last couple of trips to Blackpool. Coming here in the summer is a more pleasant experience than braving the elements in the winter. Another beautiful evening outside, not that you can tell. As ever, we're in a darkened room with all natural light shut out.
Yeah, I did manage to pop out in our break, and I can tell you it is a beautiful day to walk your snake. Yeah, I'm not making that up.
You might have to explain that reference.
Yeah, there was somebody walking their snake along the promenade when I popped out to go and get myself a quick drink. Tricky 8-ball this at 5-0 down. In it goes. Very good from Ronan McCarthy. He's on the board. Long way back here. Plenty of time to do that. Callum Singleton's close to victory as well. He's 6-3 in front of Connor Jones. Chris Day 5-2 up over Christy Caulfield. Tom Cousins 3-1 up over Hitton Patel. All the other matches are very tight and early running right now. And all the scores available on Ultimate Pool TV.
Well, it was Connor Jones that counted for Jordan Shepherd in the first event of the weekend. Slightly surprised result, although Connor's been playing some good stuff lately as well. So can Sheppy get the job done here and round out what's been a pretty emphatic win?
He should do with this layout. He really should.
When he's playing well, he quite often throws in at least one result like this in a tournament where he gets through a match in sub half an hour.
One thing with Jordan, he never looks like he's really playing quickly though. It just seems he does play very quickly, but it never looks like he's rushing. He's just always busy around the table. Took obviously a decent amount of time on the previous shot, but in this one, pretty much straight back down.
Yeah, as a contrast to Shaun Chipperfield, for example, that we just saw in the background, he gets down and hits a ball having barely feathered it. Shaun does still go through a routine when he's down. Wow, this has been some performance. Ronan's not played his best, but he just hasn't had many chances at the table.
No, and one big mistake in the middle for Ronan was enough. Jordan Shepherd playing very well indeed. And it won't make up for that World Championship semi-final defeat, but Jordan Shepherd will be very happy all the same. He is into the last 16. He is into Sunday's action.
Well, it's safe cracker. Shane Thompson breaking us off and makes a ball.
Great start for him. Wide open table. That's all you're ever asking for when you win the lag and break off.
Went out second round in the event 7 to Ronan McCarthy. I did watch the tail end of that, and he did have a chance to level the match at 6 apiece and uncharacteristic. Hello, here we go. First day with the new lips. And surprisingly, he missed it. I'm not going to try and attempt it to say again. Himself tongue-tied early in the evening. Another one of the players that has been in the US, strutting his stuff. With the Ultimate Pool USA, he was in, I think he's been to all of them, hasn't he, this season? I know he's Kansas and Denver.
Yeah.
Did he go to Louisiana, did he? I think he did. He's been all 3, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So a regular fixture in all ultimate pool. And this will be the start he wants. Won the world doubles this season with Carl Sutton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ex-roomies.
Well, looking very smooth on his cue is Shane.
Yeah, I felt this table may suit him. He likes playing in the arena, and he's very accurate. Solid cue action, not much can go wrong. He's a tidy player.
Yeah, great start there from Shane Thompson. Well, he gave him a fair clatter, Josh Kane, but to no avail. So that's the first dry break we've seen of this match. See his eyes darting around the table looking for a friendly red or yellow, but there's none to be seen. Judging by the way Shane's walking around the table there, he's looking at the yellows. Obviously black ball stuffed behind the red up there, so that will have to be moved at some point. He could do it straight away, to be fair. If he could pot this into the middle, go straight up there and push that black away from the red, and be on the yellow at the top. I think that's what he tried and just got into it a bit deep. Strange shot. Pots that and nudges that red out. It's in the way of the yellow that's going into the top left hand corner. Taking on the big pot now down into this bottom right. And once again, Thompson has missed a long ball into that pocket.
The two players have met 4 times while under the ultimate umbrella, and it's currently 2 matches each. 7-5 to Shane in the quarter-final of Pro Series 3, 8-4 in 2023 in favour of Josh. And there was a men's masters lost 5-2 and won 7-3. So actually in the main Pro Series, Josh is 2-1 up in the head-to-head. Either player will have that in their mind, but just sometimes a slight psychological edge when you have that edge over somebody.
You've come out with the stats tonight, haven't you, eh, Nick? The devil makes work for idle hands. You've had 2 hours to sit there up in your room thinking about all this, haven't you?
Exactly that.
Yeah. They just kept you off the streets. Nice little angle here for Josh. Cut this red into the centre. If he plays it a bit left-hand side, he can just flick the 2 down the cushion a bit towards that pocket. He played that shot, he kind of looked disappointed where he was. I think that's pretty good.
I think he's going up table.
He's leaving it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought while you're down there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like saying, "Well, you're up, make us a cup of coffee."
I think I would have been doing the same thing, especially when, if the cannon does go wrong and you don't land on anything, then you've still got the 2 recovery balls at the top of the table. You take those out.
Well, where's he going? He's going to pot this now and come down, and I'd want to be in that place where he was.
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's going to be there.
I think he feels
And this time he's bridging over a yellow.
I think he feels at the bottom one of the two cuts. So I think he's gone after the bottom one of the two, and then obviously with that shot he cannons naturally into the other red. But
where he was, if you cut that red into that centre pocket with left hand side, even if you hit the yellow first, like half ball, the cue ball's forced to come into the reds.
No, he's taking the middle. Maybe just going to land on the rail. Yeah, just a little cannon on the yellow to nudge it out the way.
Well, you can't do an awful lot with the cue ball. It's reasonably straight. I mean, does he try and dribble this in and leave the red into the right hand corner? Does he pull it back a little bit and leave himself a thin cut back into the same corner pocket? And there's your answer. In Josh's mind, it won't matter how he gets them, as long as he gets them. I just thought he made it a little bit trickier than it may have been. Not only that, if he'd have gone the other way and taken the reds down first, the two reds left at the top for last and they were nearer to the black, but I've got to let it go now as well. Great shot. Well, good finish in the end for Josh Kane. Where's the cue ball going, Shane? That's 2 in-offs he's had in that corner. Josh has been the king of the dry breaks and Shane's been the king of the in-offs.
Yeah. One of them was kicked in off and it was unlucky, but this has gone straight in. No forgiving that. That's just an error. Face says it all.
Yeah. Like I said, after this match, we will be turning our attention to the women's pro event. Both semi-finals and final will be on this evening on Ultimate Pool. First up will be Amy Beecham, the superstar that she is.
That's not what he's played.
No.
At all.
And she'll be playing Megan Proctor.
He's trying to spin the cue ball right down to tap onto the red and yellow and try and split those apart. But he's not left himself anything here. He can't get through to the potting angle, the one to top left. And he's on absolutely nothing, so it's going to be a little safety shot. Yeah, a bit of a shot to nothing. Well, not really a shot to nothing because he's left Shane options, but he tried to leave the cue ball at distance whilst attempting that pot. He's got to take the one on the cushion next. Much tougher pot. He needs to try and leave an angle to come across and develop the yellow on the right hand side. Didn't have to off of that shot, but would have liked to. He's just finished a little bit low. He can develop it from the yellow on the right hand side. Let's come across and give it a bump. I think he's going to try and get down on that ball now. Yeah, spins the cue ball around. Would have liked that to have travelled another 9 inches just to leave an angle, but he can still bounce the cue ball off the cushion and just come back across. Little half ball cannon on the bottom of that yellow would probably do the job. He just needs to open it out, and he doesn't want to land on it full ball because he's not guaranteed to be on anything. If he just catches it half ball, then he should be on the one to left centre. Unless, of course, it goes. I don't think it goes. No. Oh, Shane forgot the pot.
Well, Shane Thompson, not only that, he's just nudged those 2 balls apart, so he's now nudged Josh's red into the open and also left him on the one at the top.
A lot of components to that shot, because he's thinking about where he connects the yellow. He's also got hampered cueing. He's cueing over the red and the 8 ball. There's a lot that could have gone wrong there, and it does.
Well, he certainly missed more pots than Josh Kane in this match.
Yeah.
And this is pretty simple stuff now for Kane. And he'll be delighted to come to the table with this opportunity to go back in front once again. This won't be hitting with any pace. Red on the right. Dribbled in. Now I think you can play this and go into the rail and bring the cue ball back up. I'm pretty sure you'll probably deep screw this because you won't trust the cushion to not slide. Well, I think you should have screwed it a little bit further up the table than that.
Should be okay. I mean, it's a
I'm
tough
surprised
pot.
it wasn't that difficult to pull it into the middle of the cushion.
No.
It's a straight shot.
Yeah, drop this in and let the cue ball drift up table to leave a longer 8 ball.
I think he'll come back down for the black in the middle. No, he won't. Not with that pace, he won't. I thought I would have tried to come all the way back down for that, because the cue was going wide. It wasn't going to go in off anywhere. It was going to go into the side rail. But anyway, long black for Josh Kane, and in it goes. Stayed completely still, and he now goes back to 1 in front of Shane Thompson. He leads 5 frames to 4 here in Blackpool. It's very likely.
With that travel, another few inches, but he's okay. He just needs to navigate this gap now around the yellows, and he doesn't.
Oh no!
And he doesn't.
You've seen what? Can he get through the gap? He might be able to hit the red that's to the left of the black.
Yeah, play the cannon.
Yeah, he's got away with it if he has. Oh,
dear me!
He's got away with one there to go through that gap, but he's played a great shot. Well, this is like as dramatic as the one before with Josh.
No.
Oh, and he's missed the red after all that.
That one I didn't expect. I've got to say.
Balls are all open now for Josh Kane. He has his extension, so he's going to plot his route now. Use the extension. There you go. And they are all there. This is his opportunity. Just needs to hold himself together. But he only has the 15 seconds of shot, so he's going to be hearing plenty of beeps as he goes around his finish. But he's no stranger to it, and he's played a nice shot there. He's still in absolute prime position. This is perfect. Not too much to do with the cue ball either. And when you're playing at the 15-second shot, if you can just play little short stuns everywhere, you know, this is ideal. You want to pop this one now down into the bottom left, come back for the one in the middle. Perfect. And they can just stop the white dead. Play the yellow that's just below this one next. Just came back a fraction that, and I know it doesn't look much, but sometimes you think, hang on a minute, I've just he wanted to be able to just pop this and stop the white dead, but I think he's got to actually do something with it. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, and that's where it can go wrong.
Just by that simple thing of stopping the white completely dead and not coming back that half an inch. Else he would have just had plop, 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 just 2-3 straight shots.
Yeah, that cannon could have gone wrong as well, but he judged it well.
Oh,
Dearie me.
Just, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Surely not.
That fraction on that ball 3 shots ago has created this.
And it was like half an inch.
He's going to have to hit this double quick. Oh, he was very close.
Is that going to cover the path?
No, it's not.
Well, it's going to. I mean, it still goes to middle, but he's covered the path to the bottom right. I don't think Shane would have ever taken it to bottom right anyway. But
no, it's cut it in the middle.
Not on this table. Is that ball to
He's
hold
gone
up?
too fast. He's hit it too hard.
They're both at it. I mean, he's hit that by 2.5 feet. Too much.
The drama here at the end of this match. Oh, he's got the double.
What a double.
What a shot there from Thompson.
That really was a top double as well.
This is crazy. What a match. And in goes the black and a shake of the head, and Thompson can't quite believe that he's got to a one-frame decider. Look at this double with this red.
We're going all the way, Tony. I mean,
massive shot.
Let's be honest, when Josh Kane was on that finish and he's got tap, tap, tap.
Fraction of
exactly.
coming back. The difference between stopping the cue ball dead and coming back literally a quarter of an inch cost him that frame. Thompson breaks off. He hasn't gone in off this time, and he's made a ball. And the safe cracker has got game up. It's there for him. He has a little shake of the head, but this is a great opportunity. I don't know why he's shaking his head. He was nearly gone. He was nearly on the bus.
Yeah, I mean, you've just got to be happy with any opportunity here, surely.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's shaking his head because of the yellow and the red down the table.
I know, but come on.
Move it now.
Or land behind it. It does go to middle. He's landed behind it. Passes to middle.
It's tight to me. I don't think it does.
It is tight.
I'm going to say that doesn't pass to the middle. How's that?
You're right. I thought he had the bottom half of the pocket, but you're absolutely right. It doesn't. So that.
2.5 minutes as well. Got to be mindful of that. We can't rule out a 6-red shootout here.
What about past the red to bottom left? That's pretty close as well. Maybe that's where he was trying to get to. He's got the option now. He can play the plant. Try. Oh, that's not good.
No. He'll want to use as much time as possible here if he doesn't feel he's going to get them.
He's going to have to pull out a worldie here. What's he seen? Oh, it must pass, Tony. The shot I mentioned a second ago, past the bottom left.
No, you said it passed into the middle. Don't try and change
No,
it.
and then
I know what you're trying to do now. This is how, when you were changing plays to back as well. Or your tips of the title.
He's still got to get on the 8 ball here.
Oof. No. Look how quick Josh is going to be. He's got 1 minute 35. 3, 2. He's got to run this finish in. It's going to have to be a buzzer beater for Josh Kane.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a simple finish, is it?
No.
That whole cluster of balls.
No, he doesn't have to race, but they're there. They're all open. Now that red goes past the black and yellow into the middle, so they all go. This is a chance. If he gets them, he gets them with about 10 seconds left on the clock.
He's taking the first couple pretty quickly.
Well, he had. I mean, that's plenty of time for these. This 6 balls.
Yeah.
And they're very close together, so there's no cue ball rolling around the place. So I think he should have gone further through with the cue ball. There's me being a bit hypercritical there.
Yeah, he needs to finish fairly straight on the one down the rail.
He's fine.
It's okay. Yeah, he can just screw back now. 3 inches, find that gap. It's all about the gap now.
He's looking very cool.
Don't quit on it. Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect. Now then, 25 seconds for these 3 balls. It's a buzzer beater, is it? It's looking very much like it. Not 10 seconds. And in goes the black with 2 seconds to spare. Josh Kane beats Shane Thompson 7-6 in an incredibly dramatic match. Wow.
They kept us guessing till the end.
Unbelievable.
And a difficult 1-2 call, Tony, as we were saying out in the arena beforehand. On paper, Amy, the slightly higher ranked player, but Megan's been in such good form lately.
Yeah, Megan, integral part of the England women's team. Great talent. Yeah, she's been coming up through the ranks. Very good friends, these two girls. Amy, of course, multiple world, European champion. Probably one of the most decorated players in the women's game. Came through a tough encounter in her quarter-final against Mary Talbot. Mary, of course, has come over from snooker. Incredibly good potter and great cueist. I was talking to Amy earlier, and she said it's simply just a matter of time before Mary Talbot wins a big event. So it's just inevitable. She's put so much into it now as well. But she got through 7-5. She was behind. But that's one thing that Amy is. She's never say die battler. On the other hand, Megan Proctor came through against Barbara Taylor 7-2. Barbara, of course, has had a really bad batch. She's been suffering after, unfortunately, having a bit of a bump on the M25. Not her fault. They're in a queue and somebody ran into the back of the car behind her. Then they hit her car and she's been in a lot of pain, bless her. She did well to get her quarterfinals, though, to be fair. Because I did see her playing and she can't get down properly on her cue. So hopefully Barbara recovers fully soon. Is back to her fully fit self. Great player that she is. But anyway, this promises to be an intriguing encounter. Of course, the other semi-final will be coming later. Kirsty Davies will be taking on Lucy Smith. Lucy, of course, dispatched Harriet Haynes, who in the first round beat Marion Jude 7-0.
Yeah, I didn't see the match, but I definitely saw the
Well,
score.
I said, what happened? Amy watched it and she said, Marion I've never seen Marion play so badly, but incredible scoreline. I had to have a double take. I thought, did she not turn up? You just wouldn't expect it. It's last year's, the 2023 Ladies World Champion to go down 7-0. I know Harriet's a top-tier player, but that was an incredible scoreline.
It's really changed this competition, having a pro division now in the women's game. It used to be that for the top players, the early round matches in the group stages were really just a case of qualifying. Wasn't much jeopardy. Now the format's changed to being the same as the main pro series.
Yeah, it was just jockeying for position in the groups. It was, and you'd end up with a couple of dead rubbers in matches, which, the women weren't enjoying those sort of games. Well, I've got to come back downstairs from my hotel room to play a game that doesn't matter because I've already won the group. And it's, I'm not going to say it was dull, but for the player, and now it's exactly the same as, obviously a few less players, but the same format as the main pro series. I think it's better for the game, for the women's game, and I'll tell you what, it will grow them as well. Instead of there being 3 or 4 really top women, there's now going to, if you look what's coming through as well, you're looking at about 8 to 10 dozen maybe will be coming, like the likes of Mary Talbot, Sarah Waite, all these players are coming along. And I'm telling you, it's going to be big, and they're great players.
Yeah, it was the right change at the right time, wasn't it? As you rightly say, the depth in the women's game has just gone through the roof. It did used to be a case of just having a few people that were always, the winner was always going to come from a pretty small group, whereas that's not quite the case anymore. Megan will be disappointed with that. She's done a lot of the hard work, but just left herself a bit of distance on that shot. I think of the two players, you'd have to say that Champs is more used to being out in this arena setup, although of course Megan has made the last 2 finals, so that's helped to warm her up for it.
Yeah, and during those finals she was also playing in the World Championships along the way, and England were we're obviously out in there playing international matches as well. So I'd say she's had plenty now. I think enough to know what to expect. And
yeah, she looked quite relaxed coming out. I think maybe a few tournaments back, if she was out in the match arena, she'd have been a bit more nervous about it.
Well, they both said to me they're both enjoying the tables as well now the Ras on Apollo. I just like looking at them. I think they look. Here's a word. I think they look swish. They're modern. They just look. They just look the business. I love them. Very close here for Megan. I thought it was just about to drop in, and she would have had a shot at the black as well. Now Amy, take this ball closest to the rail first. And there is a typical shot that would have been swallowed up by the pocket a couple of months ago on the older tables. But what she has done is managed to snooker Megan Proctor.
Came very close with her last attempt. This is a slightly easier one.
Great shot, but then that's all she could do is pot it. It was going to be very hard to get position onto the 8 ball, but at least she's got a shot at it.
A shot at it, but the options aren't great.
For me, the only shot there is to play the black ball, half ball into that yellow to try and send it into the right hand cushion and back into the middle bag. Well, played the loss of turn. I wonder if she hit it with that much power. I wonder if she's thinking she could maybe top the cue ball into the black ball after the yellow one and then try and push it in as well.
Yeah, I think from her body language she was having a go at that.
Yeah.
It's not a great outcome, but it was never going to be a great outcome if you missed, because this ball was always going to be waiting over the pocket.
Champs potting 2 in 1, and I think that little nudge is enough for Amy to be able to see that yellow at the top.
Yeah, she'll be happy with that last nudge. They could have rubbed off the wrong side of that, but she can still see both balls.
And that'll do. Just going to pop this into the middle, drag the cue ball back a bit. Again, the last yellow might if she leaves herself a bit of angle, which she has done, she's going to have to play a little bit of pace on this. You know, just pinch a bit of screw inside and come back off that rail. So it's not just a rolling. So she'll have to be a bit careful with this.
And that's how the game's changed, because you wouldn't have previously looked at that and said that shot was a problem.
No, she played it very well. We can play it any better. And it's Amy Beecham.
Well, she's done everything but pot a ball there. Got a nice split. There's the tide turning. Good clearance to the last frame for Megan, and then straight back to the table. Make a case for either colour here. Both sat quite nicely. Really an easy opening yellow. The red.
Yeah, this is
slight
one of the few finishes that you look at, tables where the balls are spread that you look at and you think you can actually take either. It comes down to just player preference now. Probably an easier opening ball was the plant that Megan elected to play, but they're all open. She's not scared to go for a pot. I mean, the double that she pulled out in the last frame, followed by that thin cutted black into the middle bag.
And this is definitely something that's come along in her game. A season or two ago, she looked like a very decent player, but she wasn't getting the same consistency of results. She looked like she could nick a result against anybody, whereas now she looks like she's favourite or close to the favourite in most matches that she plays. She's not quite going to be a favourite against Amy Beecham, but she's not far behind. Did miss a ball to this bottom left-hand corner pocket at the very beginning of the match. Slightly different shot from this. That other one was from more distance, but also a bit further from the cushion. This one you've just got to pay attention to. This is the kind of shot it's very easy to get wrapped up in the near jaw if you're not careful. Played it really well, right?
Yeah, a little bit straight here, so I think she'll just pop this in and just leave the black into the middle. Nasty little shots these when you're cushed up dead straight. Seen a few of these missed through the weekend. They normally go far jaw when they miss. Not for Megan Proctor though.
Time perhaps for one more frame before we get to that point.
And now Megan goes dry. Her eyes sort of smile, thinking, well, what have I left Amy? And she has left Amy. I think Amy might be looking at the yellows. No easy red, so I think yellows are slightly the better colour anyway, just purely because of those two at the top of the table that stuck to the top rail. So we call her extension. The obvious ball she's going to play is the one into the right hand centre first. Oh, she can get through to the one at the bottom, even better.
She gave away a good chance in the last frame. Be pleased to see one immediately given back to her.
When you look at the table, the main problem is a yellow very close to the red that she's looking at now, and if it goes into that middle on the left hand side. I'll say she got a tad forward. Did she play to be on it now? I don't mind her playing it now because I think regardless of where you leave the keyboard, as long as you pot this ball, you can still play the one at the top and come around the back of that red, and she's still going to be decent position.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for getting that one off the table. That was going to be an awkward ball to land on again. Ideally, you'd want to move the one at the top of the table now, so you have to come back for it.
I certainly would now. Don't want to be leaving that up there too long. I like to go in areas around the table and just get nearer and nearer to the black, if you know what I mean. So it'll be the long yellow now into the bottom right hand corner. She'd like to be a little bit straighter. It's got slightly the wrong angle because she'd want to play the one that's near the cushion next, and obviously the yellow that's nearest the middle would be her connected to the 8 ball.
Just worry slightly when you play these shots. When you put just a bit more angle than you want, you can sometimes.
She's taking on the tougher ball. No, just slightly overcut it. Yeah, she didn't fancy the angle on the long pot into the corner. Now we're having a chat.
So the referee has announced the 15 seconds. Generally you find the time that catches players out when you just move into the last 10 minutes of the match and you start the 15-second shot clock. It's that transition from one to another. It just comes up on you so fast.
Megan still has her extension.
She's going to need it as well.
No, she doesn't. Yeah, she's got to take on this tough pot into the top corner, and then you've obviously got a sticky situation with the 2 reds up on the top rail. That's not going to go in. And she's left Amy a chance. She can get through to the ball at the bottom over the bag as well. She hasn't looked. Wow. I'd be taking the one up. She can definitely get through to that one over the bag. I don't think she looked. I really don't. I think because of the clock and everything else, I think she just thought, oh, I can see that long yellow. Because she could have definitely come down and clipped it, she would have been on the 2 in the middle.
That's the thing, isn't it? When you playing with this shot clock, you end up just having to play the first shot you see because there isn't time to reroute.
Absolutely.
Well, she's hit that better than she thought was possible. She's screwed way back further than she intended to.
Yeah, and that red ball looks like it will pass the yellow down into the bottom right-hand corner as well. So if Megan can get rid of those reds at the top, she will have a chance. Oh, she's hung it. A dip of the legs there, like there's a please drop.
Yeah, she's hung 2 balls in consecutive shots in that.
Now, has Amy seen that she can pot this one over the bow? Yes, she has this time.
Yeah, she can see a lot more of it this time. Ooh. Wow, she's trying to hit too much of it. She needs to catch it thinner than that.
Yeah. That was it. A dejected walk back to the chair for Amy.
This isn't over though, because those 2 balls top of the table aren't really a natural plant, so she's going to manoeuvre her way around this situation. I think she's going to have to leave the ball down the right hand rail till last, just accept it's going to be a tricky-ish pot and connects to the 8 ball.
At least she's the right side of this red, because at least you can plot that in and stay behind these 2 reds. That's the perfect place to play the plant, because the second red will come away from the rail. Where the white will stay will be on the rail, and she'll have an angle to come down nearer to that red on the rail.
This plant is far from a gimme though. Oh, she's played that really well.
And now you see she's got that little angle because of where she landed with that second ball. So now she can get right behind this. She just want to roll it down the rail then, and the black in the centre. Now she's had mixed shots with blacks into the centre pockets. She's put one tricky one, missed another tricky one, so she's 1-all with them. But she's still got to navigate this red into the bag first before we even go that far. Great shot.
Yeah, that's a really good shot, and she's got prime position.
Yeah.
This makes the 8 ball close to unmissable.
Nothing's unmissable, trust me.
That's why I only said close. Good shot from Megan Proctor. What would have been a winning 6-4 lead. There's nothing really that can be done now. This is not a layout that either player's clearing up in 20 seconds. Amy's not even going to try, although she does need to play a shot. Well, I suppose time fouling isn't even a disaster, but she will time foul. Oh, she's called her extension. She's just going to call her extension from her chair.
I like the look on her face. She's just shrugged the shoulders a little. I'm not getting up. I'm not bothering walking over there. Don't blame her.
Both players see the funny side. The gong sounds for the end of the match. Amy Beecham 5, Megan Proctor 5. We are going to our second 6-red shootout of the weekend.
6-red shootout between Amy Beecham and this is Megan Proctor, who's going first. Nice little split.
It's a decent break. Almost dropped her cue on the table. Oh, and I think that's just put her off her stride. Just needs to regroup. These balls are still there for her. There's a time to be set here. This is better. Just in 2 minds about what to go for there, though, and has left herself a long one.
The
key thing in a 6-red shootout is not to miss. Ooh, is that going to be a pot? Oh, she's potted both. That's going to change things. Oh, and she set a decent time in the end. Just over 30 seconds for Megan Proctor. Wow.
I think the first 2 balls took about 18 seconds and the next 4 took 12.
So, 30 seconds, 40 to beat to make a place in the final. It's not a bad break, but the white's bounced off. She's going to have to wait a second for the balls to move. Wow. This is going to be a problem.
Yeah, that was 5 seconds.
Oh, and she's missed the first one.
That was 5 seconds down to Swanee at the start as well.
She can still do this, but she can't miss from here. She's got to get all of these balls in the one visit. Now she's back in better position. Pot this to the centre, cannon the ball above it, or roll through.
I think Megan's going to be going through. Or is
Could
she?
she do it? She's going to have to hit this one quickly. Could she do this? Oh, how close is that? This is going to a photo finish. We're going to have to confirm this time. The clock in the arena is showing 30.95, but it may be slightly quicker than that.
It was incredible, the last 4 or 5 balls there.
So the referee going back out into the arena. The players are waiting their fate. And it looks like it is Megan Proctor that has been confirmed as the winner. 30-40 just held.
Absolutely outrageous 6-red shootout. The combination from Megan Proctor, the comeback from Amy Beecham. In the end, it's a split-second victory for Megan, and she is awaiting in the final for the winner of this match, and it is the world finalist of this year and two-time world champion Kirsty Davies, and the person that won the last Women's Pro Series title that gets us underway. Lucy Smith is her opponent. She's looking to get herself back into a Pro Series final. Would be her first one of the year. Simon Webb and Mark Shepherd with you. And Mark, I think there's no doubt on paper the favourite for the match, and still you'd say probably favourite for the tournament is Kirsty Davies here in terms of what she's achieved lately and the fact that what she's achieved in her career as well.
Yeah, and she seems to be right back to some of her best form. Lucy Smith has been there or thereabouts in Pro Series events and the Women's Series before that for quite some time now, but not as yet achieved anything like as much as Kirsty. You do feel that Kirsty has an A game that really does just rival anybody. Maybe doesn't always hit the absolute heights. Perhaps sometimes loses a match where the B game can be overtaken, but such a dangerous single ball potter that you've never really got her in a safe position. Spoke to her in her interview and about the world final. I think that would have really hurt her. She was playing the best pool. I mean, brilliant performance beating Marion Jude in what was the match of the tournament a couple of rounds before, but that match was against Tasneem Solomons was one that she'll look back on and think that she had enough chances to win it, and she probably in her own mind, take nothing away from Tasneem, will feel like she should have won it. Obviously she didn't, and that'll be sore, and on the back of what was a brilliant performance in winning her first Women's Pro Series title to build on the mini series title she won, I think that will really hurt. Best way to fix that though is obviously just to get back at it and start winning again. She knows she's going to be in for a tough final. Whoever gets through is going to be in for a tough final. Could hardly have had any more drama at the end of the previous semi. Good advert for the women's game, that last match. High quality standard of play from both players. A couple of really good clearances from Megan Proctor in the middle of the match, even though obviously the 6 red is the thing it's going to get remembered for. That's not gone to plan for Lucy. Tricky this, because the other 2 reds at the bottom of the table also not in a good spot. The yellows meanwhile are quite well situated, so once she moves this red out of the way, all the yellows are going to go. Oh, very nearly made it one way or another. Not to be, and that leaves a decent chance now for Kirsty Davies. Nearly. So, good open layout for Kirsty. We've talked up what a good potter she is. Should be able to keep these pots fairly simple. And that's a good first shot. She wanted to get under the first ball to make sure she can get through to the one nearer the pocket. Not very well set as a plant. Didn't really want to get involved in that. If anything, she's just come down a turn too far. I don't know if she can nip this and get back to the middle of the table. And if she can't, then she's playing around with the reds. She could, but she couldn't hold for the one into the right centre pocket. Actually in a slightly tricky spot here when you have a look through the full finish. Doesn't really want to be taking the balls at the top of the table off the table. Certainly won't want to take them both off. I suppose you could leave yellow right centre as a very good connector to the 8 ball, but this is a bad angle here. Yeah, I think if you were going to do this, you'd have been better getting the white further over, trying to leave yourself a bit straight on the one to the left centre. If she can just miss the ball that's in the middle of the table. Wow, oh good lord, how has that happened? I don't think I've ever seen that before. No, I have no idea how that's happened. That's extraordinary. It's a foul because of it. The yellow will go onto the 8 ball spot. Wow. Oh, what a bizarre moment. Obviously, it was the ball was rattling around in the jaws and just lifted off the bed of the table whilst rattling, and then because it caught another ball sort of on the half volley, that's how it ended up on the floor. That's a bizarre moment to start this match off. And an extremely valuable ball in hand for Lucy Smith, because anything other than ball in hand, this was going to be an almost unmakeable clearance.
She's got to be careful because she's going to be leaving the plant here. Make sure that the red you're playing doesn't spit away from the pocket, because it's sort of half set to spit up the table just a little bit here. I might have been tempted with ball in hand to play up for this plant, leaving the one that she's just played. She controls that really well though. And this 8-ball to give Lucy Smith I'll give her the first frame. The clock's going to come into play, maybe, depending on how they go from here. But there is still plenty of time for Kirsty. She just won't want to continue with the way this match is going. It needs to spring into life. You felt the break clearance potentially that she could have got on the previous break of hers might have been the catalyst for that, but missing the 8-ball, even though she still won the frame, means she's still not got that positive feeling out there.
These reds set pretty well, so good chance to go searching for that positivity.
A little bit short.
Yeah, she could have done with landing closer to straight on the ball to the top left, then she could have run through and taken out the other one at the top of the table. Natural position to come down.
Could have done with being, yeah, no, straight would have worked. A roll short of straight or 2 or 3 rolls past straight would have been fine, but this far short makes things really tricky.
It's not to say she won't get it, but she's going to have to go the long way.
Yeah, does it make getting onto the 8-ball potentially trickier? She would love to be, take the 3 at the top of the table, so she wanted to be straight in top left, get on the one top right, one on the centre gets you down the table, and then you're connecting up the 3 in the bottom half with the 8-ball there. That's okay.
That was one of those shots. If it comes out right, it looks like the right shot. If you end up getting the wrong cannon on that red, you query whether it's a shot you need to play. The fact that she's knocked it to the cushion, although it makes the pot harder, at least means she's now got the right angle to get back out. Similar kind of situation, albeit with more space at the bottom of the table. Needs to land on the one of the right-hand side, not too far off straight, with an angle to roll through for the remaining ball to the bottom left. That's pretty good. That's close enough. A little off straight the wrong way, but she can make this angle. Just loading up with right-hand side. That was actually pretty good place to play that shot from. And now the fact that she's ended up low on this ball makes it a much more natural positional shot to get up for the 8-ball. This is much better, and this is what she wants more of, not just the fact she's winning the frame, but she just wants to get more stuff done. First visit, breaking clearances, not get involved in any of the scrappy moments.
Yeah, that's what a game's all about. Break finishing. Big chances, big finishes. No issues with a simple 8-ball.
Good moment to add a second. Bit more power that time.
Still another quality strike though, isn't it?
Yeah, she's going to play it more like a shot rather than throwing her arm through, just like you'd play any other power shot. That time it looked like she deliberately hit it harder, which is almost surprising given how much success she'd had with the previous break. Similar result though, nice open split. Not quite the frame for the match. Obviously 7 is the winning post, but a 6-2 lead would be very, very big indeed. I don't know if you'd say her patterns have been entirely conventional. She's played a couple of shots which I'm not sure everyone would have gone the route, but it does feel like she knows where she's going, and that's kind of the key thing.
A player that likes to work the puzzle out and work on touch, work on control, but work on the pattern.
Seen one time foul earlier today, and a few other players have come very close. That's definitely something that's improved. The player's judgment of the shot clock. People are very happy to play on 1 second now. Almost invariably do time it right.
Oh no.
Just trying to make an angle. That wasn't a miss we really saw coming.
That is exactly what Kirsty Davies needed. This match is getting away from her. She needed help. She's got some.
A gift at the right moment. Got to take advantage now, both from a scoreboard perspective and to make Lucy dwell on her error. Couldn't really ask for the balls to be much better for a counter clearance. And if she does get it, 2 frames behind, be plenty of time. That will feel like a much more comfortable proposition.
You can tell that Kirsty is trying to speed up, isn't she? That extra step.
She's never the most precise, is she, with a cue ball. That shot, a lot of players would have managed to leave themselves dead straight. Or she's just potted. She's just happy to just leave any kind of shot. Now she's back in nice shape. Both of the last 2 pots not completely clean. They've gone in off the knuckle. But no one remembers that. It's just whether she can win the frame.
Well, she is going to win the frame. She needed help. She's been given it. She's taken advantage. Well, commentator's curse. First dry one.
Doesn't have to rush, but she does have to take the clearance. What she can't afford to do is get into any kind of back and forth. Needs to get this job done in the one visit. Then hope that she gets 2 more chances.
This is far from an easy chance.
Running out of easy balls now. She's got 2 that are in awkward spots.
Brilliant. That's actually opened up the frame in terms of the 2 reds at the top of the table. The one at the middle of the table does still have a pocket. Hard to get to it. Top right. Is there enough room to be able to get onto it? Maybe right centre off the yellow. Well, where's it going, Kirsty?
Looking at playing red off yellow towards the top left-hand corner. Not far off.
Yes. Some effort, but always tracking into problems. And it's a mop-up job here for Lucy Smith to take the match clock out of play and win this one 7 frames to 3.
Nice position this. The clearance will win it, but so will wasting a bit of time. Doesn't have to pot all 7 balls. Those balls have just about fallen into a plant at the top of the table. Not in the perfect spot to play them here, but she can go top left next and then take on that plant. It's been a good performance from Lucy Smith. Not a great performance. I think there's more to come. But she's going to book her place in the final, so she's going to have a chance to deliver more. Because she's going to be straight back out into this arena. Megan Proctor, her opponent in that final.
A little jabby on that one. Yeah, acknowledges it. It's okay, Lucy. Job is just about done. Just won't feel like it for her. You sweat every moment out there, even though she's in the comfort zone right now.
Yeah, it's very hard to have the situational awareness of exactly where you are in a match versus the match clock when you're out there playing.
That is fabulous though. Beautiful control.
Now she'll feel a bit more comfortable. This is really just the simple stuff to be done. So this 8-ball for a 7-3 win and a place in tonight's Women's Pro Series final.
In it goes. Lucy Smith gets herself back into a Pro Series final. Kirsty Davies will be kicking herself. Too many missed opportunities. And she did win the last event. She will not be winning this one.
So it's Lucy Smith to break off in this race to 8.
Didn't it, there were, like every break in the semi-final was hit perfectly. Not powerfully, but perfectly. This time, you can see the spots on the cue ball. Just comes across it and doesn't hit it as well. Actually looked like she tried to hit it with a little bit more power. Maybe that's why she didn't hit it as well. But first opportunity goes to Megan, and actually look at this for a chance to get going in the opening frame of a major final. So it's a dream layout in all honesty.
Yeah, and it's quite a good start. Megan's the one that's had a bit of time to go and freshen up between matches. Obviously there's a lot of drama at the end of her semi-final. It would have taken a while to let the adrenaline go from that. Nice to come out and just get immediately warmed back up with this kind of finish. Take the ball obviously to the left centre next, the one that's on the break line. Can naturally work her way down the table. The start of her semi-final against Amy Beecham, it looked like there was a risk of the game getting a bit scrappy and Megan not quite settling into it, but then she had 2 really good clearances. Seemed to kick on from there. That all said, she's going to be very disappointed to have missed that ball.
Yeah, grimace there because that was a poor miss. An edgy one at the start of the final for Megan.
Good first shot from Lucy. She's got everything in play now. Same equation. Good chance to get warmed back up into this match. Race to 8 does give that little bit more headroom. It's relatively unlikely that we see either player get to 8 unless it's a one-sided match. Don't really see us playing all 15 frames in the 50 minutes. Coming into the event, Lucy is technically the higher seed. She was the one that finished higher up the rankings, 5th on last season's ranking list. On the live ranking list, Megan currently at 5 and Lucy at 9. I think that does include the points for getting through to this final. Both had good seasons because, as we were mentioning, Lucy's missed a couple of events, so she's won her points in a smaller number of tournaments.
Yeah, missed 2 tournaments for going to China. She's been studying out in China. If you missed that, we were talking about that in the previous match, doing her PhD. Which is, as we joked in the first match, exactly what all pool players seem to be doing these days. It would be some run through the field though for Lucy, wouldn't it, if she goes on and wins this, in terms of Megan's currently the 5th ranked player, as you said, but you know, to have taken out Harriet Haynes and Kirsty Davies and then Megan Proctor taking out 3 of the top 5 would be some statement.
Yeah, what you can definitely say is whoever wins this match is going to deserve the title, because they've both beaten some good players en route.
And both players showing some edginess here at the start of the match.
Yeah, that was a slightly careless miss, and it's actually not a great result that she's got it so deep in the pocket, because now it makes it a bit easier for Megan. She can play that as a combination shot if she's relatively straight on the yellow behind it. I don't think you can begrudge them a little bit of edginess. We see this in all major finals. Tends to be the case in the women's game that they have less time out in the arena, so maybe makes the occasion feel ever so slightly bigger. Oh, great combination shot. It was there for the potting because the ball was deep in the pocket, but you still had to make the shot. Saw the trophy being carried out into the arena before this, so they both have had sight of what they're playing for. I think this is the best moment of the week to be playing a final as well. Saturday night in Blackpool. Town known for its entertainment. Feels like it's the right occasion to have a big match on.
Well, left herself a bad angle here, so it's going to be going up the table, and the red that she's next to actually now plays big. Clip this thing thin enough that you're going to be able to come round to the left-hand side of the table.
Yeah, I think ideally you want to play this wafer thin. I mean, you can go the other way and dig into it, but I think the wafer... oh, well, it's not caught it thin enough. Had to be onto the side cushion nearer the break line. Didn't want to be flirting with the jaws of the pocket. And now, how do you like this for an 8-ball for your first frame?
She is a fabulous potter. One of the best in the women's game. But this is tall order.
Oh, she couldn't have got any closer.
How well did she cue that? That was as close as it gets. Digging down on it as well. I mean, any hint of side on that and it's going to fly all over the place. Big shot. It's gone wrong.
Big shot now for Lucy. Not as difficult a shot, obviously, but still one that there was some pressure on.
Has the red got the whole pocket here?
No, I don't think it has. And we know these pockets aren't huge, so she's going to have to just favour the left side of the pocket, but without favouring the jaw itself. There is space to pot it, but it's just the fact that the 8-ball's there just plays on your mind a bit. Well, in fact, from that angle, she's got a fair chunk of the pocket, maybe not 100%. Ooh, well, she hasn't got that part, though.
Oh, and it blocks the 8-ball. She holds up a hand, but in all honesty, if you're Megan Proctor, and you're thrilled to get back to the table here. As horrible as this is, you're thinking, thin clip is awkward. This is so easy to leave something on. Oh, she's played it well.
Yeah, that doesn't look like much, but that kind of shot, you can so easily hit the ball too hard or just pop the white out.
The problem is you gain no advantage here. Even if Lucy doesn't get out of this, what are you doing with cue ball in hand?
Well, you're almost hoping Lucy does get out of it, but just in a way that knocks the black away from the red.
There was actually a shot on there for Megan. That was the full in the face double kiss on the 8 ball. Get the cue ball up the table, leave the 8 ball, not move the red.
I mean, the same equation here. You could punt the 8 ball up the table and try and leave the white frozen to the red. It's just a shot. It's a shot that's not that hard in practice, but it's a shot that under any kind of pressure you can mess up.
With the red being right on the cushion, I quite like thin clip on the 8 ball and try and get the cue ball up towards the... Oh no, just double it in the centre. Oh, what an effort.
It's a bit unlucky with where it's finished. That's kind of the shot I was thinking of, but just trying to promote the 8 ball, not necessarily pot it. Now that it's gone safe, there's not so much pressure on Lucy. She can just promote her own ball.
Yeah, the 8 ball finishes in the middle of the table. It's a completely different shot for Lucy Smith.
Now Megan's got a problem. There isn't an easy safety shot. May have to try and go for maybe the table length back double. Don't really know how you guarantee any kind of safety. Probably better going down, attempting a shot. Oh, is she going to get lucky? Is she going to get lucky? Wow, that's a huge result. That is the kind of good thing that can happen though. If you play a shot like that, you've got a chance of making the pot, but you have also got the chance of something happening. Obviously not playing it like this. So, the up and down for Lucy. She rests on the red. It's going to leave a difficult 8 ball. If she pots it, obviously that's a good outcome.
And it's as bad as it could be, really. Red going to the middle of the bottom cushion. Free hit now, really, for Megan Proctor. What an opening frame we're seeing here. 10 minutes up now.
Yeah, and it's massive because whoever wins this is going to feel very happy, and whoever loses it is going to be feeling down in the dumps, even though it's only one frame. Oh, that's a good pot. Obviously no pressure, but still had to play that shot. And that, you see, that time she's gone back to the slower, more controlled break, and she's had a much better result.
I think it's the best break she's hit in the 2 matches we've seen, and not necessarily the best result, but instant explosion, quality strike.
Amazing, given she hasn't hit it that hard. How many balls have ended up right at the top of the table? If anything, she's actually created too much congestion at the top.
Taking this finish on might not be the best thing to do here. Those 2 yellows at the top are dead, unless the middle one, the one nearest the left, well, nearest the middle of the table, like if that passes a red to the top left, maybe there's an option there, but it doesn't look like it does. Well, that shot that she's just played tells me that it does pass. And I think the yellow did pass to the top right, but I don't think it does anymore. It was tight. It definitely doesn't go now.
Got an angle to get into it, but it's going to be hard to get into it in a way where you don't get stuck to it.
The double kiss kills it.
So what does she want to do? There's in theory a table length double, but does she really want to carry on attacking from here? Well, I'll answer my own question. Seems like she did want to carry on attacking from there.
decided that she's so far in, it might as well keep going. She's done well not moving the reds at the top, so they remain awkward. And actually, the way these yellows are lined up, it's not that easy for Meg here to find a good safety, find something to gain control.
When you have two balls together like that, you're always hoping you can play off one of them and tuck in behind the other one. But these ones aren't brilliantly placed for that. So he hasn't managed to find anything constructive to do with the balls at the top of the table. He's going to have to come down the bottom first. It's not a terrible nudge actually, that. She may have knocked this into a position where she can now put this ball to the right centre and play a cannon into the two reds that are currently tied up on the right hand side.
Disaster.
Yeah, she just didn't get that right. I mean, the in-off was unfortunate, but she just hadn't really got quite the right line on the white even before that. And this is just an absolute gift for Lucy. Ball in hand, just get right in amongst the balls. Not as significant a frame given that the scores are tied, but given how fast the time is ticking away, every frame is going to play fairly big at the final reckoning.
I guess it was one of those situations where Meg just couldn't see the safety, couldn't figure it out, and tried to attack, but that was a tough, tall order there, and it's giving away the frame really.
Well, what's frustrating for her is that she'd actually got into a position where the attack was almost the right thing, because she'd left quite a nice angle on that ball to the middle. Just didn't make much of a job of the cannon. I mean, it was always going to be a tall order, even if she gets the cannon fairly well. She's not guaranteed to land on the remaining balls. Either way, though, Lucy Smith sneaks ahead.
Oh, the cue ball flies in this time. An opportunity for Lucy. Straight in.
Big moments for Lucy Smith. Chance to open up a two-frame lead. It would only be around about 3 minutes remaining if she could complete this clearance.
Yeah, this isn't terrible. So drop this in, get on the other red to right centre, get on the one on the cushion. Where are you going after that? It's the one below the yellow that's the key here. That's in a little bit of no man's land. There might yet be hope for Megan Proctor. There's still 4 minutes to play. And Megan Proctor will get to the table. It's not a nice layout. There's one bad yellow. And there's one on the cushion as well. Yellow nearest the red. Megan comes round. Does it go to the corner? Does go to the right centre, but that's really awkward to get to it there.
She's got to be feeling the pressure now. She knows that she really needs to take this clearance out at this visit. There is time remaining, but the reds are fairly well set. She can't really afford any mistakes. That doesn't look like the best of shots. It's landed a bit between options here. Hasn't really got time to think about it though. She's just going to carry on potting, and she's missed that by a mile.
Yeah, that's disappointing visit. You got the sense the 15 seconds really hurt Megan there. She didn't really know what to do on the first shot, and nothing kind of unfolded. So a second opportunity for Lucy Smith, and clearing up here would essentially win the title, because we know coming back with less than 2 minutes to play. No guarantees though, there's still a bad red. Megan will really want to keep it chalked here. She may well get a minute and a half here to try and steal it to a 6 red.
Well, she definitely might now. Don't know if Lucy can get off the cushion to pot the ball that's over the pocket, but she can't see anything direct.
Nearly snuck behind it. Not quite. Did the right thing though, not trying to make that off one cushion and then trying to find something. Try and contain, keep the red that's blocking the yellow. Difference is this time, Megan does have access to that yellow. When she plays down for it, off the yellow right centre, she needs a good angle to get back out for the 8 ball. I suppose worst way she'll have a double. Match clock isn't a factor. Just over, what do you got, 120. So for 3 shots, that's fine. Not enough time for another full frame. So it's really this visit for Megan Proctor. And she's got the high angle, so it's going to be the double, you feel. Make sure of the pot. Wow, it's not the double. She's got a shot at it. This is a tough 8 ball. This is a very tough 8 ball. But this is essentially 4 or 6 red shootout.
Big shot for Megan Proctor. 4 seconds left to play it. Oh, how close was that?
Well, there's 43 seconds left, and Megan's actually been a little bit unlucky here with the 8 ball spitting across and not staying in the pocket. I thought it was in when she struck it. That's how close it was. But if it stays in the pocket, this shot for Lucy's a completely different proposition. One more swing at it here for Megan.
She's only got one swing at it. She's going to have to pot it. She's not going to get another visit. She's going to either have to double it or play it off the cushion, and she's going to have to do it in the next 4 seconds. Oh, heartbreak. Cue ball's in. Doesn't matter where the black goes.
Match is over. Megan Proctor has had her chances. Lucy Smith, though, is the champion. She edges herself in front, and she gets her hands on her first Women's Pro Series title. Lucy Smith wins Women's Pro Series 7. Lucy Smith, the Women's Pro Series 7 champion. Well, it really has been another brilliant tournament, and the Women's Series always delivers drama one way or another, and this one absolutely did.